Okay, I don't know if we're live yet. I hope that we are live. And if we are live, a happy Thursday to you. It is Thursday, which that means it is YSS Let's Talk every Thursday night right here on Facebook at We Are Facebook, or We Are Facebook. We are YSS on Facebook, I should say. And it gives me huge joy that we have a panel up here. We have some really special guests. We have Blake Willitson, our IHYC Development Coordinator. Now, if you don't know what IHYC is, that's Iowa Homeless Youth Center. Some people might know it as 612 Locust Street in Des Moines, a YSS organization serving over 600 homeless youth throughout Iowa or youth at risk of being homeless. We also have Kalli, and Kalli Kennel, a good friend of mine, and she is a Specialized Prevention Service Coordinator. And she works a lot, if you've ever heard of Teen Club or Kids Club, all of our summer enrichment programs, does so much with there. Actually, Kalli was on a YSS Let's Talk, how long ago, Kalli?
I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago.
2 or 3 weeks. So, hey, if you want to watch Kalli and me just yap and talk and a lot of awesome pictures and videos, you can go to yss.org and you can find that YSS Let's Talk. And then we have Karen Wickert, and she is making her debut appearance, I believe, on YSS Let's Talk. And Karen is a YSS Foundation Board of Trustees member. And so I think, does that mean that we all have to put on our best behavior as a board member, Karen? No? Not like you make me nervous or anything, but all of the folks here are here to talk about something really special, which is holiday giving. And holiday giving has been a tradition of YSS for years. And let me just throw out the first question here to those who aren't familiar with holiday giving and what it's about. Karen, can you take this first question and talk a little bit about it, how long it's been around, and why we're talking about holiday giving right now?
Absolutely, sure. Well, I have been a volunteer with YSS for almost 10 years and have been involved with holiday giving in some form or other for that whole time. So obviously it's been around more than 10 years. In various forms. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So what holiday giving is, it's a YSS program that provides just some extra support to youth that utilize our services throughout the year, but we want to give them a little extra support over the holidays, make sure that that everybody gets a gift who needs a gift. We don't want any little kiddos left out of holiday season. And so we've got kind of a two-pronged approach. We have something that we kind of refer to as Adopt a Family, where you sign up to get gifts for all the kids in a family, and might be one individual, or there might be 6 kids, you know. So that's one option. And then we have giving trees out in the community with special YSS tags on them. And those tags have gift ideas for YSS programs. So there's lots of ways that people can get gifts to YSS programs and clients. And I mean, the holidays can sometimes be tricky, but this year it's just been a hard year for everybody. So we want to make sure that everybody has a little bit of happiness over the holiday season.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, I think you just hit on it. This year, I mean, it's a special year. Special, that's a good word. 2020 has been a very special year. And it's been trying, I think, for everybody. But, right. You know, I know some of the families that we work with at YSS, it can be especially trying, even for them, I'd assume. Again, as it is everyone. And you mentioned gift tags. I find that a little interesting. So these trees that you're talking about, mm-hmm. are they virtual trees? Are they physical trees? What do these look like?
So that's a great question. we have a committee that handles holiday giving, and for the most part, we get the same people every year because we just love doing it. And so we started meeting in August this year to try to decide how can we still do holiday giving, but in a safe way, because in August, of course, we had no idea what was going to happen. Right now, we still don't really know what's going to happen in the next few weeks. But yeah, we have we have physical trees out in Ames, in Boone, in Ogden, Des Moines, Mason City, at various locations, and we'll give you that information if you want to go and find out where those trees are. Yep, there we go. And those are businesses or organizations that have hosted trees in the past, and still felt like they were comfortable having people, in their organization taking the tags and bringing gifts. So they've all put up their trees, and we have little business card size tags. And one side is that kind of pretty snowflake decoration that you just showed us from the website. And it has information about the dates of the program. And then on the back is a label, and it'll say something like, a pair of sweatpants, size medium. And so we have 1,000 of those tags out around in the Ames area. And I'll let Blake talk about what they have going on in Des Moines. And Mason City has done the same thing. So we're very grateful that we've got these organizations who are willing to still host a tree. And so people take a tag off the tree, go buy the gift, bring it back to that same location, and there's a nice little box. Well, actually, it's a big box because we get a lot of gifts. A big box to put the gift back into, and that's all it is. It's so easy.
So if folks don't even, it might be intimidating just to go out and buy some random gift. Those gift tags that you're talking about are actually specific, because like you just mentioned, a medium pair of sweatpants, or specific needs that could be met, so folks can actually just check that off. Or I'm sure, again, they can just bring a gift too, I'd assume, correct?
Well, what we've tried to do, we reached out to the YSS staff and said, what are your needs for this season? And so those tags are based on the feedback that we got. Okay. So like the mentoring program always likes to get board games or craft supplies. There's the program called Baby Bumps and Beyond. They need diapers. I mean, that might not sound like a Christmas present, but this is what people need. Yeah.
Yeah, I just recently learned how expensive diapers are when I was shopping for my great niece not too long ago. And wow, those are, so yeah, that's a Christmas gift right there. So we were also talking, you hit on some locations. I think you mentioned like Des Moines, Ames. I think you said Mason City. You mentioned like there's trees in Boone and Ogden, and you also were kind of mentioning Blake there. And Blake, again, for people tuning in right now, we're talking about holiday giving. And holiday giving is all about us rallying around kind of a joint effort to help families that would appreciate some extra giving. And it takes a village, takes that village mentality to make all this happen. And Blake, can you talk just a little bit about some of the similarities or the differences within the YSS holiday giving for those locations I just mentioned, Ames, Des Moines, Mason City? How's that all work? How's that look?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of nuance just because each program you're meeting different needs for, different kinds of families and youth. And so most of that is just a difference in the age and some of the different needs of the population in each community. So one thing that's consistent across each community is there is that adopt a family option or adopt a youth, and that holiday giving tree out in your community. And so like when you look at what we're doing in Des Moines, we have a couple options where if you wanted to donate more of a generic backpack holiday box, it's something that we give out to our outreach youth who are either dropping in the center just for the holidays when we have our holiday gathering to give out items like basic necessities, personal items like a journal and some snacks. And those are for those youth who might be staying out on the street or who are accessing our drop-in center on a regular basis. And so it's just a little different when you look at each community. If you go to that website there, yss.org/holiday giving, it gives you a little bit of a better picture with each community. But yeah, I think that's really, it just comes down to it's whatever you're able to give and how much you want to get into the shopping. So I know some people, they love going out and shopping for young little babies, or, you know, you got a daughter at home and you wanted to teach them a little bit more about what kids their age might be going through if they're experiencing homelessness or something. So you have the option to adopt a girl or adopt a boy. So it's really just whatever you want the experience to be.
And how cool is that it's, again, kind of tailored even towards different communities, the needs within those communities. And that is really cool. And again, can you throw that website up there one more time? YSS.org.
Absolutely.
I think it was /holiday giving 2020. And that's where you can go to find out, you know, the communities that we're talking about, the needs in those communities, and different creative ways that you can give, and that you can be a part of this YSS Holiday Giving 2020. Again, welcome. Facebook Live, it's YSS Let's Talk. And since we are live, there is a comment box. If you're tuning in, you're watching on Facebook, you're welcome to make a comment, ask a question. We've got some experts here. We have Kalli Kennel, we have Karen Wickert, and we have Blake Willadsen. And we have Rusty Johnson. I'm here too. But these are the experts here talking about holiday giving and years of experience. Speaking of years of experience, and speaking of really working with this and coordinating efforts, you know, with those who might be really receptive of these gifts. Kalli, you work with some families and you work with the youth directly. Is that kind of your role in this with the holiday giving and what you work towards or work with?
Yeah, so I seek out the families that I think may need help this season, and I offer this to anyone who's been in our YSS program. It could be one program, they could be in 4 programs, but everyone who may need some extra support is on this list for me. So I actually have some really awesome stories to share tonight about how it's impacted different people in the community around us.
Awesome. Okay, well, great. And so with those stories that you want to share, I think, did you bring some videos or some pictures?
Both, yes.
Yay. Okay, I love pictures. I love videos. So what would we like to go for first?
So let me explain the video and then we can show that. And then
Okay.
as I read the next 2 kind of summaries, I have a couple pictures to post and talk about as well. So the first family I want to talk about is in Eastern Story County. And this family has 3 daughters. At that time, they were in 5th grade, 8th grade, and 9th grade. So whoever adopted that family was able to go shopping for some teens and some preteens. And the youngest daughter received a little Frozen themed tutu and was very excited. But as you'll see in the video, she might have been more excited about receiving a piece of mail. So if you want to cue that up, Blake, we can take a look at that.
It's my first mail. I mean, my second mail. I don't think it's actual mail. It says mail.
Oh, just a moment here. I think we're gonna have to tee that back up here.
Oh, okay. And I wasn't hearing it real well. I don't know if there is volume, but I heard a little bit of excitement there.
Yep, we'll play that one more time for you. Sorry, we had a little technical difficulties.
Oh, that's okay. Take 2. We can watch that a lot of times, actually.
Makes my heart happy, so play it all night.
It's my first mail. I mean, my second mail. I don't think it's actual mail. It says mail. Oh. I love it.
I
So-
love it. I
Mm,
love it.
so sweet.
And that's a small snapshot. I mean, can you imagine how many other videos there are out there from the, and we'll talk maybe about the numbers we serve, but keep going, some stories.
Yeah, so just the families that I've served last year, we probably reached about 60 kids under the age of 18. Amazing. And Rusty will provide and Karen will provide some more numbers later that will give you a bigger picture of how much impact this is. But I will read a couple more stories. Blake, if you want to cue up the pictures. So I asked my families if they would be willing to send me kind of an impact of what the gifts have done, because this might help encourage some of you to sign up and choose a family. So the first one says, "Hi, Kalli. Our 6-year-old loves her gifts. She was so excited to get her very own set of Uno cards. She had also been wishing for the very set of Legos that she received. The clothes are exactly her taste. Lots of pink, sparkles, and one shirt, her favorite, that says, 'Where there is kindness, there is magic.' I hear a lot of, 'I'm so thankful for these,' and it was a great Christmas this year." Our 6-month-old was less vocal about her appreciation. Her favorite thing on Christmas morning was trying to eat the tissue paper. Since then, she has enjoyed her toucan singing toy, loves to look at and chew on, the colors book, and little people, and is proudly rocking her diapers. We appreciate this program so much. It took a huge burden off our shoulders so we could focus our time, finances, and worries on other things. Thanks again for everything." So that was one example. The next one, I don't have any pictures, but the story is just as touching. This family, the mother actually came into the office to pick up the gifts last year pre-COVID. And I had all of them sitting on my desk, and there was a couple different stacks. I think she has four kids under the age of 10. And so I had all the presents sitting there. Each kid had their own little stack. And she walks in, she looks at me, and she just kind of stops and starts tearing up. And she goes, "Are these all for me and my family?" Makes me emotional just thinking about it. The impact that just seeing these gifts did was more than amazing, more than enough that we could expect and that we would want. So I will read what the mom sent back to me, and she was so grateful. She says, "Good evening, Kalli. My heart is very overjoyed to let you know how much the kids enjoyed their Christmas gifts. The clothes were fabulous and everything fit. They love their toys and also partaking in McDonald's once or twice with a gift card. We are truly very thankful and blessed to have received some generosity from our angels at such a busy time of year. Thanks again for everything you have done and continue to do on a daily basis on behalf of our kids. Our family is forever grateful." So these stories can be really encouraging, and oftentimes if you donate or if you were to adopt a family, you don't always get to hear about the success and the impact that you make. So I'm sure that every family who has received gifts in this kind of manner will have similar stories about how excited the kids were and how happy they were. I heard comments of, "This was the best Christmas ever," and "Oh my gosh, I get presents this year." And it's truly, really exciting and really magical, especially for those families who may be struggling due to different reasons, especially from COVID this year.
Well, and there you have it. From a YSS staff, Kalli Kennel, our YSS Prevention Services Coordinator, who works one-on-one with these families, with these youth, and hearing that impact. You know, I remember last Christmas I was in the car and I was driving, and I was listening to some radio show, and you know how they go in and they surprise families with gifts, or they do that. How cool is we're giving everybody the chance to be a part of that, the chance to actually be a part of the people giving those gifts, doing that, making holidays extra special, especially during this time. So, well, Kalli, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I know you've got to take off and you got to go, but for folks that just listen to Kalli and those stories, Kalli, sheer curiosity, are those stories available anywhere that folks can look, or if they want to refer other people to share their stories, can they share their stories from this year?
I think that's a great idea. I don't have these documented anywhere besides my archived emails, but I think it'd be an awesome thing to share. And one more thing too is, like Karen said, it's a great time to kind of get together with your family and adopt another family. So my parents and I actually adopted one of these families and were able to work together to get presents for the kids. And it was really awesome to see how my family worked together to provide for another family that was in need.
That is great. That is great. Well, thank you very much, Kalli. Greatly appreciate it. And thank you for all that you do, truly.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
And again, if you want to know more about all that we're talking about, you can go to yss.org/holidaygiving2020. You can find out all the information too just by going to yss.org and searching and finding that out. And I think that'd be a great idea, Karen, maybe to in the future share some of these stories, because wow, that was really impactful hearing those stories.
Very impactful, yeah. I don't know, Rusty, what do you think about a follow-up in January?
Oh, I like that idea. Actually, I do know.
I'm just throwing that out. I have one story that I'd like to share. Back when one of my first years of being a volunteer, we were over at the Family Life Center at that point, and people would bring their gifts in, and you know, I would check their names off and say, "Great, thank you." And a woman came in and she said, "I'm just so happy that I'm able to do this, because a few years ago, I wasn't able to provide any gifts for my children, and YSS helped us have a holiday. And now I'm able to do that for somebody else." And I don't think I'll ever forget that, because she was just so proud and so happy. And those are the kind of stories we hear over and over and over. And that's why this program is such a success, because everybody wants to have a little part of it.
And this program, I mean, this specific program only happens once a year, correct?
Holiday. Yes.
So this is it. This is the time to get involved. And for folks that are tuning in right now, and if you are tuning in, we're talking about holiday giving, ultimately a way to jump on board and to make holidays special, extra special, help those families that we serve that might need a little extra boost. And for folks that are hooked, if they're listening to this and they're like, you know, wow, I listen to those radio shows like I do, and I think that's so cool, but now we're giving you the opportunity to be a part of this. Where do they go next? What do we do, Karen? How do we get involved?
Well, I've got to just lead you right back to the website and look and see what's happening in your particular community, first of all. And I just want to encourage people, even if you are not comfortable going out and shopping this year because of COVID, on the Adopt a Family in Ames and Mason City, we do have some families who have gone through Amazon and listed some items. Oh. And the gift, you can purchase the gift through Amazon, and it will be shipped directly to that family. And so you don't have to leave your home to participate in YSS Holiday Giving.
Wow. And is this the Amazon wish list that we're seeing right here?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Oh,
this is their sign up page. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. If you keep scrolling, you'll find some that are still available. This year we have about 200 family units listed on the Ames Adopt a Family. And again, that could be one person, or that could be 6 kids or 7, or, so but we have less than 50 slots available, but we still have 50 slots available. We still want to make sure everybody on this list gets a gift.
Okay, so you're saying 50 slots available yet, and that's in Ames, right? Or the Ames area. And yes. 50 slots available for how long? How long can folks jump on board and be a part of this with even your family, if you want to get your whole family together, or extended family, and make a contribution?
So our program in Ames and also in Mason City goes through December 5th.
Okay.
Again, so if your family tradition is to adopt a family and then go shopping together on Black Friday, I know it's going to be different this year, but we have families who do that year after year after year. It's just one of their traditions. So again, December 5th, we will finish taking in gifts, and then we'll quarantine the gifts, and then they will be delivered to the families in time for Christmas.
Okay, so December 5th is that date. And something else, Karen and Blake, please jump in here. I'm just leaving you out, but people also have to know this. Blake is actually running the show right now too. So he's running the videos and the slides, and he's like that wizard behind the curtain right now. Well, you're not behind the curtain, you're out of the curtain. But I tell you what, truly incredible. But Blake, jump in since you're so much a part of this. When we're talking Mason City, we're talking Des Moines, we're talking Ogden. I know that it was also mentioned, or excuse me, Ames, Mason City, Des Moines were the locations, but you also mentioned Boone and Ogden, and so it extends beyond just those strict cities. Is that
Sure.
right?
Yeah. Let me clarify that. So we have giving trees in Ames, Boone, Ogden, Mason City, and Des Moines.
Okay.
For the adopt a family, anybody anywhere in the state can technically do that, but you do have to return them to, if you sign up on the Ames website, then you return it to YSS Ames.
Okay.
By December. So there are some, as I said, there are these two different kind of approaches that we have, the adopt a family and the giving trees. There's a few little technical differences between the two, but the time frame is about the same.
That is great. That is great. And what is just so special is how much folks can become a part of this and really just this is holiday time, but it's that community effort, that really kind of all gathering around. And I remember, I don't want to go down memory lane myself too much, but I was raised in foster care and quite a few different homes. And I'll never forget the Christmas once that we had actually a church kind of chime in and buy all of me and my sisters gifts and stuff. And it was still so special in my mind. I still remember this. That was years and years ago, just from the community kind of, chipping in and being a part of our life and that caring and that feeling. And that's what this season is all about. And how long have you been doing this again, Karen?
About 10 years.
10 years.
So Rusty, to be honest, holiday giving was one of the first volunteer avenues that I did at YSS, and then I became a mentor, and then I got on the holiday giving committee, and then I was on the board of trustees. So, I'm a YSS person. So I just love doing this. Every year we get it a little more streamlined. We deal with issues that come up. Again, it just makes people feel good to participate, and we all really need that.
And you said before we leave, folks, I want to know or kind of express the magnitude of all of this. And you had mentioned, I heard something like 200. Somebody said 200 families. And do we know the true reach of all this?
Well, our numbers last year were kind of about the same. We had 200 family units, which was the equivalent of between 400 and 500 youth. And then when you factor in all the gifts for the programs, it's closer to 700 youth are impacted by holiday giving.
Wow, 700 youth. Yeah. That is incredible, the difference that this makes. So if you're listening later on, listening now, here's an invite to you. Please share this video. Get this word out there to folks to jump on board, become a part of the holiday giving. 700 youth, maybe even more than 700 youth and kids, families can be impacted just by simply going on yss.org/holiday giving 2020. And if you don't know exactly what to get or how to get or what, it will provide everything right there for you, even an Amazon wish list.
Yeah.
And again, you can share that to people who you know want to jump on board and also become a part of this. So Karen and Blake, anything I'm leaving out? Anything that again, December 5th, right? That's kind of the cutoff date.
December 5th is the date for Ames and Mason City. And Blake, you're December 14th, right? You've got a little bit different time frame.
Yep, we're running just a little bit off kilter. I think maybe one thing that would be awesome just to hit on real quick for folks at home that are watching, just to kind of walk through the process. I mean, we've talked about the holiday giving page there. That's a great place to start. From there, once you select your community, you're able to scroll through that sign up page and look at what options are available, and then see actually those wish lists for the youth out in the Ames area in Mason City. And once you select and sign up for a youth, we'll be in contact with more information about how to drop things off and what that's going to look like. But in each community, there will be an option for a touch list, contact list drop off. And in Ames, there will be specific dates for that as well. And then in Des Moines, it's a rolling basis. And so, but we do want to keep that kind of at the heart of it, is like, this is such a different year, and we want to make sure that we're accommodating to anybody, and no matter what, trying to mitigate any kind of exposure as possible with the virus. And so there will be that contact us option. There'll be those Amazon wish list options. In Des Moines here, we've got the option to do a holiday giving tree in a virtual format if your workplace or your youth group want to do something like that. So there's a lot of different ways to get involved.
And I also just saw a comment from Jackie that was talking about, the hybrid options and that, but she was also hitting on cash giving. So, hey, if you're like, what, cash is simpler, take that cash and use it, do something great, make this 2020 Christmas extra special, you can do that too.
Cash and gift cards. We go through hundreds of gift cards for this program.
Yes. We are open to whatever people want to do to participate. We are going to find a way for you to participate. Blake, just to touch on what Blake had said about our contactless drop off, on December 3rd, 4th, and 5th in Ames, I believe Mason City is going to do the same thing. We are going to have some designated parking spots where you just pull in. A volunteer will come out of the YSS building wearing a mask and gloves. You can pop open your trunk. We will take the gift. You don't have to do anything with it once it's at YSS. We'll take care of everything. So you can just stay in your car, stay warm, stay safe, and just feel good about being able to help out.
So as simple as possible. As simple as and convenient as absolutely possible. And I also want to touch on something, Karen, that you hit on a little bit with your story. 10 years in the making here, and working towards this, and how you've kind of, like you say, you are YSS, and you've worked in various capacities, I'd say, or volunteered in various capacities. Hey, even for the folks who might not be able to give cash or to give donations, what would you say to them, Karen, as far as volunteering or getting involved with YSS?
Yeah, there are so many ways to be involved. I mean, we're a big organization, and we reach out into all the central Iowa communities. They're in so many ways, whether it's through school programs, through community volunteering, one-on-one volunteering. We've just got so many needs for volunteers. I will say, again, this is a strange year, so some of our normal options aren't available. But for example, mentoring, it's a 1 hour a week time commitment, and you can actually do that online. So if you are interested in our youth in these communities and have a desire to reach out, we will find a place for you. We will find the perfect fit. Yeah.
And isn't it great that there's one thing it still just blows my mind about YSS is there's so many different ways to get involved because there's so many different outreach opportunities. You just touched on mentoring, right?
Yeah.
Of course, we do classroom services, but then Kalli was on earlier where she works with the kids club, teen club, the summer programs, the mental health, so many different ways. And with me as a proud YSS employee, you can go to YSS.org and search through all of those. And there's also professional opportunities too, I'm sure, on the job postings if that's your deal too. Now I see a comment here, and I have no idea what this means, Karen. So Karen, can you explain about wrapping or not wrapping gifts?
Yes, there's a question about wrapping or not wrapping gifts. Blake, I don't know if you can pull up that sign up again for adopting a family. But some families like to get the gifts all ready to go and wrapped with the label on it, telling it's for the female 3 years old. Some families like to wrap their own gifts, and so if you decide you want to adopt a family, we have a designation. Not only do you get information on the sign up, you get information about the age and gender of the clients. But we also, if you can see, you might be able to see there's wrapped, some are unwrapped. And that's just, it tells you what the family prefers. So again, we've got a lot of information, a lot of different options for you. The Giving Tree gifts do not have to be wrapped because they're going more to a specific program as opposed to a specific person. So yeah.
I love this. Like you said, so many different options, many different options. And for me, Karen, you do not want me wrapping gifts. I can tell you that right now. This up in my attic, I have 3 tubs full of nothing but what do you call it? Like gift paper.
The bags, the
bags,
special holiday bags, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because my best thing is grab a hefty garbage bag, throw it over, throw a bow on it, and call it good. If that's a wrapping. So for those who are talented at wrapping, and that's something you're really good at,
some people really enjoy it. Yeah.
Yes, I know. And it could be, maybe I need to take that up as like a stress reliever during COVID. Yeah. So there you go. So many different options to get involved with our YSS holiday giving. December 5th looks like it's the cutoff date for some, but it looks like maybe a little bit later in December for Blake's area in Des Moines.
14th.
And again, you can find out all about it one more time right up there, yss.org/holiday giving 2020, be it giving cash, be it giving Amazon wish list items, being it wrapping your own gift. Again, some way that you can be a part of this, making the holidays so bright for so many of the youth, the kids, the families that we serve and that we work with here throughout Iowa. So, all right, well, Karen, thank you so much. We have Karen Wickert here, our YSS Foundation Board of Trustees, and also holiday giving volunteer. She has a lot of experience with this. And Blake Willitson is our IHYC, or our Iowa Homeless Youth Center Development Coordinator, and that's at 612 Street in Locust. And then we also had Kalli Kennel, who had the takeoff, and she's a specialized prevention service coordinator who shared some stories about the impact that our holiday giving really, really has. So, hey, if you want to share this, please go to yss.org. This will be available to share as soon as we are off the air. You can share it to those who you think, hey, maybe they would like to get involved in this. and be a part of this. So Karen, thank you so much. Blake, thank you. I one last chance. Did I miss anything? We miss anything to talk about?
I just want to say I look forward to all of you in Ames driving up to YSS, and I'll be there getting gifts out of your trunk. So I'll wait for you.
Love it. And Blake, anything?
Nope, it's going to be an excellent holiday season. Looking forward to having all of you help make a difference this year.
Yeah, and especially 2020 has been a really trying year, and this is so important and so awesome that everybody has the chance to be a part of this. Well, my name is Rusty Johnson, YSS Prevention Specialist. We are here every single Thursday night, 7 p.m. to talk about one of our YSS programs or a community service that we offer. And I mean, I loved it. Last week, we actually had a mental health therapist on with us, offering some free advice. So you can find out all of those on yss.org. We log all of them. You can watch all of our YSS Let's Talks. Next week, I'm going to be talking with a couple of good friends. Bambi Schrader is going to be on. Also Pam Jones. And oh yes, talking about something that hits really personal with me, adoption. And so we're going to be talking about National Adoption Month. And that is, that's a big topic, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. So please share, get the word out there next Thursday, 7 p.m. And it's right here on our Facebook page at We Are YSS. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And until next week, be safe and check out www.yss.org/holidaygiving 2020 to figure out your way and how you want to contribute to making holidays so much brighter. Thank you all.
Bye.